Hey everybody, how's everybody doing out there? I wanted to make this video. Been putting it off for a while, but finally I've gotten enough information and whatnot that I can go ahead and do this. Finally, I got to keep a close watch on my time because I've tried 2 times already to make this within 10 minutes, and I just keep running my mouth. So it must be a really great topic. Yes, it is. It is about Sharia law. Had no idea what that was. Heard Hannity talk about it. I don't really like Hannity that much personally, but I heard Mike Savage talk about it. I dig Mike Savage. He's ace in my book. I don't know, what the fuck is Sharia? Who's she? Who's Sharia? It's a cool name. Sounds cool. Not cool. So I started, doing a little digging, and I found out that Sharia is the governing body of laws that that people who are Islamic implement in their lives. The analogy that I came up with was that was that of a wheel. If you look at the Islamic culture as the rim, everything you see on the outside, that sort of thing. Every aspect of life is represented by a spoke, and all of those spokes are connected in the middle to a hub, and that hub is the governing body of laws that tells you exactly how to do what, when, where, why, with who, and who gets their head chopped off, who gets their hand chopped off, who just gets stoned. And I don't mean like kind of stoned, no, like bricks and big rocks being hurled at your head because you got raped and you couldn't come up with 4 guys to testify in favor of you because, well, they were probably more interested in doing the raping too. Anyway, all that aside. At any rate, I came up with several articles, and I found this one interesting case called Can You Hear Us Now? It's called the U.S. versus the Holy Land Foundation. Holy Land lost, so I kind of threw that out. But there's the brief article about what Sharia law is, very briefly, and how it's taken over, and how Britain has started to institute Sharia courts. There's such a huge Muslim population. Nothing against Muslims. Everything against radical extremists who are Muslims, who want to, go ahead and implement Sharia law all over the world and see Islam dominate. That's their state of intention anyway. And I also found a really cool article called Games Muslims Play. No, it's not checkers. It's not, it's not chess. It's not soccer. Not backgammon, nothing like that at all. Head games, all right? Kind of like the Crusades, They love to point out the Crusades and say, well, the Christians killed in the Crusades, and see, that was wrong. Yeah, but did you bother to do the rest of the history? And so it dispels with a lot of the myth about things like the Crusades and replaces those myths with these wonderful little things called facts. Whoopee! Yay! Facts are great. They're researchable. They can be used in a court of law as evidence. Wow, that's awesome. That's great. There's this other one I like here. Muslims only kill in self-defense. I'm kind of like thinking, all right, so what was the whole flying the 2 planes in the building, defense thing about? I can't, I don't get that. Of course, one of my favorites is, Muhammad never killed anyone. Hey, you're right. Guess what? Neither did Charlie Manson, but that motherfucker is never getting out of jail, and if Mohammed was around now, he wouldn't be getting out of jail either. Oh, by the way, I drew a cartoon of Mohammed. See? There's Mohammed. Mohammed, if you want to fuck with anybody, come fuck with me. Not the journalist out in Oregon who had to go into the Federal Witness Protection Program and, of course, change her life and her name and her job, and she can't stay in touch with her family or anything because a bunch of fucking whacked out Muslims got freaked out because she drew pictures of Muhammad. My take on that is, get over it. I know somebody who knows a really good therapist if you guys really have that big a problem. But otherwise, shut the fuck up. Oh, one of my favorites here is called The Separation of Mosque and State. And being fair, I figured, well, yeah, I gotta find this stuff that's, just something from, some mosque, some Islamic site, that would have something to do. And it starts out with, we hold these truths to be self-evident. And it starts saying after that how comparable and how compatible Sharia law is with the Constitution. That's all I needed to do, and I threw that fucking thing out of here. No way. No. And I downloaded this thing called Sharia, The Threat to America. Very, very informative. And off of there is where I learned that Thomas Jefferson and John Adams actually learned about Sharia law in 1786, 10 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. They went there to meet with an emissary of Tripoli to rescue 100 sailors who were being held by the Barbary pirates. And, they wrote a 4-page report to Congress, and Thomas Jefferson at that point, he got a Quran and he learned how to read, write, and speak Arabic because he wanted to know his enemy. He recognized the threat of Sharia law. And it was very interesting because John Adams' son, John Quincy Adams, wrote 136 essays on the dangers of Sharia law. So, in doing all of this and in researching all of this, I've become really a lot more enlightened as to what Sharia law is, and I have much more feeling for my brothers and sisters in freedom across the ocean in the UK and in Germany and, in France. Kudos to France, ban the burqa, way to go, and all over the free world, where creeping Sharia is not so creeping anymore. It's sort of kind of getting into a full trot kind of thing. The judge here in the United States who wouldn't grant a woman who was being repeatedly beaten and raped a restraining order for her husband, he ruled in Sharia law favor. That motherfucker should be disbarred and derobed and never again to enjoy the office of public service, even if that means being a fucking janitor in any state, anywhere, anytime. Anybody who advocates Sharia law should be guilty of some kind of degree of sedition or treason, including military personnel. Kind of like, if we should have done that with Major Nidal Hassan, I think that's how you say it. Now I get them names all fucked up all the time anyway, man. At any rate, I gotta go. My time's running out. I had a whole lot more I wanted to say. Definitely support the English Defense League. Don't buy into the media bullshit that says that they're a bunch of thugs, Nazis, and racists. They're not. They're like the Tea Party movement who got a bad rap because of a couple of whack jobs on the fringe. Support the EDL, the English Defense League, and Geert Wilders. Okay? Outside of that, everybody, enjoy your freedom. Enjoy it while it lasts. Peace.